tell me things that you love about the UK.
Your mum.
Yeah, Princess is
amazing. The main thing, I'm not going to lie, the main thing that I love about the United Kingdom is Marks and Spencer.
But still, my heart.
Marks and I will fight.
It's a safe place, safe space.
Anybody. Listen, I'm going to cop a lot of shit now from my Australian friends, but Woolworths, you need to sit down.
Don't remember swivelly chair, swivelly chair, swivelly chair, swivelly chair, swivel chair, swivel chair.
Nasty girl. Scandalous. Insatiable. All real freaky. Freaky girls really turn me on.
Hello.
Hi,
welcome back.
G'day. Or should I say hello, given that she's now an Austrian citizen.
Congratulations. Oh my God, you must be so relieved.
I'm so happy.
So nice.
It was so, well, it wasn't, I knew that I had been granted citizenship, but I was waiting for the certificate. And then I went to get my first COVID vax.
Oh my God, you're like literally doing it all.
I know, right? My arm's a bit sore. I'm waiting for the second head.
What one did you have?
I had Pfizer.
Ooh, you fancy, huh?
I know, fancy. She's bougie. So yeah, I'm hoping I don't wake up tomorrow with a second head, but I think I'm going to be okay.
I think you'll be fine.
I hope so.
That's good news. I'm jealous of your citizenship now. I want multiple passports.
Well, like I was saying to you before, for a fee, I will consider marriage.
Mate, I will sort you out with some brisket and malt milkshake from Five Guys. Dusted.
I would also like weekly schnitzels as well.
Oh yeah,
food of my people.
Of course, well that's the given. Then you just get that from the embassy. They ship it out to you every week.
My watch just unclasped.
Ooh.
No, so I was very happy about that. I shed a little tear. I was talking to my granny's picture on the mantelpiece.
No,
I wish you'd lived to see it, but I mean that's the best inheritance anyone can get, basically. So
that's great. So now you're literally like, I am fine. I've got access to everything.
Yeah.
Oh, what a relief!
I know, it is a relief. How are you? How's life?
I'm all right. Okay, so I told you last time I was like had issues with my tooth, right?
With the teethy peg, yeah.
God, and after the whole health thing and the incidents, so yet again, without fail, I went to private dentist, not the amazing guy that I found because I couldn't get an appointment for that. So I went on Friday. Everything went fine. Dentist was amazing, lovely. But then the receptionist decides to act the fool. It's like, right, so I'm on my...
Calm down, you only work in a shop.
Exactly. No, but I could see that she was just a miserable sod. Like the rage was coming out of her hair. It was so dry and brittle. I could have used it to scrub a pan. It was awful. And she just... miserable sow. But basically I had to book an appointment because tomorrow I'm going to go and have it removed. And so they were like, you have to do it because you started a course of antibiotics. So it has to be Thursday. I was trying to push for Friday. And so I was like, okay, cool. Go to reception to book it. And she's like, yeah. And then she's like, okay, I booked it for the following week. And it was like, no, it has to be this week. She's like, well, we don't have it. And so the dental assistant was like, no, it has to be then. And she turns around to me, rolls her eyes and is like, are you in pain? In a really rude, aggressive way. And I'm like, excuse me, you need to calm down. You're literally working on the front desk. And what business is it of yours? Yeah. They told you, just do it.
Do your job.
And then I was like, yes, I am, but it's none of your business. And then so she was like, a few minutes later, suddenly there's an appointment there. There's an appointment there and it's all booked and it's all fine. It's like, why though? Why be a dickhead?
When you leave after having it removed, you need to throw like a bloody tissue at her as you walk out the door. Take that, bitch.
Well, no, actually, you know what I did? I did actually complain because normally afterwards they send you a review thing to, And I did complain and they called me the other day and were like, oh, what happened? And they were like, so sorry. So that I was pleased that they actually took it on board. Hopefully they got rid of her. How rude. How rude. I just don't understand it though. It's like, it's got nothing to do with you. It's not an issue for you. Why are you making it difficult? It's just like, ugh, go away. Vile
Um,
person.
I feel like we need to get the big thing out of the way before we go, because yeah, we can't do anything this week without talking about what's going on in Israel, obviously.
Oh my God. It angers me so much. Did you see the interviews with that guy in the States? And he refused to acknowledge, like they were just talking from the Israeli side, and they were
No,
like,
what-
do you
what-
condemn the
he
killing
was the
of
he was the
Palestinian
wait,
children?
wait. He was the like some spokesperson for the US government.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. And he would not talk about the killing
Yeah.
of Palestinian children, and they were just talking about, oh, they've been attacking, and they're like defending themselves. And it was also on the BBC as well, and they were interviewing that guy, and they were just talking about, well, you know, you shouldn't be doing this. And it's like they're being attacked, their homes are being stolen from them. I saw so many videos. It's
They have
disgusting.
been stolen from them and are being stolen
Are
from them.
being, yeah.
I mean,
This has been going on for too long, and it's not right. For me personally, it's a case of I cannot, it's frustrating because it's happening in front of everyone and people just sit back and allow it to happen. They've broken so many human rights laws and no one is doing anything.
I feel like we have to go back to the beginning. And we have
the Nakba when they first...
No, I feel like we have to acknowledge the role played by the UK in all of this.
It was all their bloody fault.
Right? Like the Balfour Declaration in 1917 states essentially that the Jewish people have a right to a homeland in Palestine. And then Palestine was under a British mandate at the end of the Second World War. And obviously with this huge influx of Jewish refugees after the war, the British were just like, Pontius Pilate, see you later, we're outie, and left, right?
Yet again, the British screwing things up for
like
everybody else. It's awful.
But basically, this is the thing I want to say. I think that violence is never the answer, right? But if I were a Palestinian and I had grown up and I had my movements curtailed, I had not been allowed to own property, I had been denied access to adequate healthcare.
Your children are trialed like adults.
I had seen children being arrested and beaten. I had seen what sparked all this the other day, them firing fucking stun guns and grenades into the mosque during the holiest time for Muslim people.
So bad.
I would want to fire rockets too, right?
And also,
wait, hold on. Hamas is firing rockets. Israel is firing laser-guided missiles from high-tech, state-of-the-art fighter planes, right?
It's the equivalent of them throwing stones. Hold on.
Exactly. Israeli citizens,
they have a dome,
have access to air raid shelters, and they have this iron dome paid for by the state, something like £4 billion. That's why you look at the death toll. I think it's like 5 Israelis have been killed and something like 30 or 40 Palestinians. Like, I don't condone violence on any side, but I fully understand why Palestinian people...
Also, it's saying, I don't condone violence, but never in the history of man has anything been given lightly and freely, only when people kick up a stink. It's like with women's rights. It's like with rights for anybody. We've always had to fight and kick up a stink, and then they'll be like, okay, fine.
And Israel operates a policy of apartheid. They
really
no
do.
one wants to call it that.
It is apartheid.
Of course it's apartheid. And Israel, it sounds so childish to say this, but Israel started it.
They really did.
And they have shown time and time again throughout the years that they have zero respect for Palestinian life. They are illegally occupying East Jerusalem. All of these settlements in the West Bank are illegal.
Did you see that guys who said, if I don't steal it, someone else will? That made my stomach turn.
And the people celebrating at the Wailing Wall when yesterday they were like, they were saying in Hebrew, like, erase their names or something because they saw the flames coming from the mosque. Like, this is... And the thing is, the thing that really,
they make it
really
about religion,
me,
but it's not.
Yeah, it's not. It's ethnic
just
cleansing,
genocide.
It's settler colonialism, and it's fucking genocide. And the thing that really, really gets me is the weaponization of anti-Semitism. And I feel like that is,
as a people, they should understand more than anyone.
That is the biggest insult to all of those people who were murdered in the Holocaust. My great grandfather being one of them, right? That you cannot say any legitimate criticism of the Israeli state and their actions is anti-Semitism. No, that's it. You can't say anything bad.
But as a people, they of all people should understand that what they're doing is heinous, but they're doing it in such a vicious nasty way. And it's like, what you've been through, the reason why you're there in the first place, and now you're inflicting this on these people. How can you do this and genuinely say
look,
it's okay? It's wrong.
They're not the first people who have been oppressed to turn around and shit all over other oppressed people too. I'm thinking of white gays. I'm thinking of like, right, and mate, I'm not. They're not the same, but that's not specific to Israel. But it does stick in my throat, I guess, more because of what the Jewish people have been through. And listen,
and we're always told to remember, never forget.
Hold on. We need to make the distinction between the Jewish people and the state of Israel, right? Right. There are a lot of Palestinian Jews. There are a lot of Palestinian Christians.
Palestinian Christians, Jews, Muslims, all of them
who are totally anti the regime, right? Which
they
is a
all
racist,
used to live together.
far right, bigoted nationalist regime. And everybody, it's true, everybody was getting on fine, living cool, hanging out.
It was
and
all
then the
fine
Brits came
before.
along. I just, I just was reading something before I was on the toilet, and someone high up in the Israeli administration is saying they're not going to stop firing rockets on Gaza until there is total quiet or complete quiet. They're looking to flatten Gaza. It's fucked up.
Evil. That's what it is. It's pure evil. And it's unacceptable. It's unacceptable. The rage is real.
There are so many resources out there I've seen as well for people who want to know more about how to help the Palestinian cause. Like places you can donate to, books you can read, go on Instagram. We'll try and put some links up as well. Because it's not cool.
Get involved, help as much as you can.
Did you see the Brits? I forgot it was the Brits. Does anyone?
I didn't even realize it was happening.
It's not like in the 90s when Jarvis was storming the stage. Do you know what I mean?
I remember that.
That was so
with
good.
Michael Jackson. Oh God.
Yeah. Bring back Jarvis. That's what I say. And when they didn't, someone pie John Prescott or someone else, number one. When there was
he there?
I think it was.
Why was he there?
Oh no, they went, New Labour sold out the Dockers, just like they sell out the rest of us in that song.
Oh, okay.
But it was good. It was a good night for the women last night. It was
Little Mix.
Little Mix. I was so happy.
First female band to win.
I can't believe that.
Isn't that ridiculous? Sugar Babes.
Are you Sugar Babes? The Spice Girls. The Spice Girls.
Oh my God, yes. Hold on.
Hello. They never won Best Group.
Yeah, but you remember it was all during the Brits, so it was Britpop, and so it was never going to happen.
But come on, the Spice Girls, and the Spice Girls are doing a sequel to Spice World. It's been confirmed. All 5 of them. How dare you? All 5 of them. Victoria's doing it too. Yay! So excited. Yeah, my mind's got a mind of it.
Now that's a tune. That
is a legitimate jam.
I do love it.
But I thought that have you seen the performance of Elton and Ollie from?
Oh God, what's it?
Elton was giving.
He doesn't sing words anymore.
He was giving full Elton at the piano.
What song did he sing?
They sang "It's a Sin," the Pet Shop Boys, because obviously Ollie Alexander, who is now years and years, just him has just starred in "It's a Sin,"
okay,
drama about the AIDS, crisis in the 80s in London.
Yeah,
and that was the theme tune, the Pet Shop Boys, and it was great. It was such a I
haven't seen any of the performances. I did see what's his name? That unfortunate looking man who actually sings rather well. He's quite funny.
Lewis Capaldi.
He's
funny.
Yes, he's really funny.
I knew who you were saying because you said unfortunate looking man.
He does look like a kicked in pillow.
He looks like a
dough
that's
ball.
been left out in the rain. But
Absolutely.
I am here for, and he's a joker.
He's really funny.
He was giving me 90s Brits vibes. That's why I was like, that real, because otherwise it's just a shit version of the Grammys. You can't swear or do anything outrageous at the Grammys. The Brits are supposed to be the one where you
let loose,
get a bit rowdy,
get a bit wild.
But other than that, I didn't see any of the other performances. I'm not really.
No. Was there anyone exciting that was there that was performing?
I don't even know who else performed apart from Elton and Sir Elton, excuse me.
Sir Elton, you what was it? You filthy little pig.
No, you rude, vile pig.
Rude, vile pig.
That is Elton's, I want to get that tattooed on my head.
You rude, vile pigs. That did make me laugh. I'm sorry. It's inappropriate.
You
but
need
it's
to
funny.
Google Elton John rude vile pigs.
Kicking off on the plane.
He's kicking off after landing.
Yeah.
He was tired from his first class flight dialogue, and they were harassing him.
You're a rude, vile pig. Look, many a day I've felt the same.
Yeah. Oh my God, I feel like that every time I leave the house. That's why I want it tattooed, or I want a megaphone where it's just on repeat. Rude, vile pigs. One on your shoulder, blaring out.
Oh God.
Did you hear about Boris's CCJ?
That is funny. You know what?
Okay, first of all, we need to explain. A CCJ is a county court judgment, and a county court judgment is what you get when you default on a debt and you haven't paid, and they've chased you and you still haven't paid, and then they issue a thing, and then it's like it gives you bad
it's
credit.
Exposed to everyone.
Right? Everybody knows your shame. You don't want a CCJ.
No.
But Boris has
got one, literally
for £535. This man was
no wonder
the
he's
silver
got
spoon in every orifice: anus, bell end, eyes, ears.
Well, didn't he get someone just to pay for his Caribbean holiday with his
with the
cum holder?
Yeah. But apparently now I just saw this update. Downing Street is trying to get it set aside, which apparently you can do.
Wow.
If there's been some confusion.
They really just don't care anymore.
To be Boris Johnson, but not to
it's
look
a
like
joke.
him.
But one of the best descriptions, actually, it was Abba who's telling me this, and said someone described him as a bin bag filled with albino body parts. That was the perfect description of him. I was just like, I mean,
I'm trying. Like, they've been chasing him up about this for 6 months, and I'm like, you're telling me in the whole of the British government there isn't someone to open his letters and say, let me just sort it out.
But that's just the sheer arrogance of him. He's just sort of like, doesn't count to me. I'll just get that sorted. It doesn't matter.
And
he can do whatever he likes. He can do whatever he likes. He's out of control.
He's
a bag of albino body parts. So inappropriate, but it's really funny.
I feel like we're being surveilled by the Israeli government.
Probably. There's like alerts that have gone on. I'm probably going to get some sniper down on the terrace
right?
now. I'm like,
I wouldn't mind if they were like if they Krav Maga.
That's the problem, though. Some of those buggers are really hot.
I know.
God damn it.
I know, right? Okay.
Those are mean.
Let's move on.
Moving on.
We're going to teach
the children.
Yeah. Okay, I know we said that this is going to be a solely melanated space. But
did we?
I feel
we did. Well, I didn't realize we had.
Oh, okay. Well, I had said that.
You had just decided.
I had decided.
I think that's silly.
Well, we're trying to uplift
black
voices. Anyway, look, so we're gonna have a quarterly Caucasian.
Okay.
I feel like that's fair because white people nowadays have it really hard. Unseasoned food.
Jonathan.
Then
it's because you saw that nasty TikTok video with the spaghetti bolognese.
Oh my God.
Such filth.
I am speechless, right?
For someone who's spent time in Italy.
They may as well just have punched me in the face. There seems to be this trend on the internet right now of people
filth. People
laying out
nasty.
food on their kitchen countertops.
So dumb.
I've seen people doing it with nachos, so they pour the cheese out all over the counter, then they put the chips in, they put the jalapeno, and people just come around and eat off your countertop. So this one last
They're the kind of people who would let their cat run around on it as well.
Yeah. Oh my God, I need to show you the video as well of the man. He's making the cake and he keeps on the cat sitting on the counter.
I think I saw that. Oh, nastiness.
Listen, I love pussies, but not in the kitchen. Okay. But this thing last night is basically this woman, and she gets 2 giant things of like dolmio, slurps them out.
Not even heated. She just pulls it straight out of the dirty jar. No seasoning, nothing. Just
it's ready. It's already seasoned. What are you talking about? Then she gets these dry ass looking IKEA reject meatballs.
They
and,
deserve to eat like that. Do
scatters
you know what?
them
They
on top
deserve
of the
it.
sauce. Then she gets that nasty cheap parmesan that's like foot shavings and the like scrapings from the parmesan
It really
factory.
did look
At
like
the end
that.
of the day, right? Sawdust ladles it on top of the thing, and then she gets a pot of spaghetti stuck together, and she calls them noodles.
Noodles.
She's like, get the noodles and pour them in the thing.
You know what? Get out.
My
This is why I do worry when other people cook for you. It can get a little dangerous. You're just like, what are your habits? What are you doing? You never know what you're going to get. Some people I trust, but sometimes that's why I always have first dinner. Not playing that game. Otherwise, it's going to get nasty.
Exactly. But we digress. We're about to teach the children, and this week we are talking about and I'm particularly interested in this person because basically we're talking about Sophie Scholl, who was
nothing to do with the foot people.
Nothing to do with the foot people. Although I'm sure she had very lovely smelling feet. She was a young woman who lived during Nazi times. She was a German, and the reason I want to talk about her today is
she was in her teens, like she was 15 or 16 or a bit older.
No, she was 21 when she was executed.
When she was executed.
She would have been 100 last week on May the 9th. That was her birthday. And so she grew up in a kind of liberal political environment. Her dad was an outspoken anti-Nazi. And initially, I think as basically everybody had to do at that time, she joined the young Nazi girls.
Yeah, her and her brother.
Yeah. But she and him, Hans, his name was, but she began to question the ideology and was like, actually,
this is fucked.
This is bullshit. So she went to uni in Munich in 1942, joining her brother Hans there. I think she was studying biology, and it was her brother Hans and some friends of his who set up this organization called the White Rose. And the White Rose was an organization that advocated passive resistance to Nazism, and they wrote pamphlets calling for National Socialism, for Nazism to be toppled, and they distributed these leaflets in secret throughout the University of Munich and also throughout other parts of Germany, central Germany mainly. And Sophie wanted to join this organization. At first, her brother was reluctant to let her join because he wanted to keep her out of danger, obviously. But then actually she proved to be invaluable because as a woman, because women would never do something like that. She was less likely to be stopped and questioned by the SS. So she got involved with the organization, and then on the 18th of February 1943, Sophie and the rest of the other members of the White Rose were arrested at Munich University.
Wasn't it when she threw all the pamphlets from the top of the university so it spread out, and then the snitch caretaker told? Yeah, and that's how they got arrested.
They had, if only she had, they had left piles of pamphlets outside the door of each lecture theatre so that the students coming out would pick one up. And then there was some left in the suitcase basically, so she just flung them into the atrium, and McJobsworth saw her and reported her, and she and the rest of the White Rose were arrested. So this is on February. They were
18th. Tortured, and they tried to make them give up the other members, but they didn't.
Yeah, and she tried to assume full responsibility, basically take it all on herself. They were put on trial 3 days later, on the 21st of February, where they weren't even allowed to testify or defend themselves. Obviously, they were found guilty. It's a show trial, and the very next day, the 22nd of February. Sophie, her brother, and Christoph Probst, who was the other member of the White Rose, were beheaded by guillotine. They were found guilty and beheaded the same day.
Awful.
Many of the people in the prison where she was held noted how bravely she went to her death.
Because what was it? She said something when she was leaving.
Yeah, her cellmate basically said that the last words that she said to her as she was leaving the cell were, "Such a fine sunny day, and I have to go. But what does my death matter if through us thousands of people are awakened and stirred to action?" Like the bravery just...
Can you imagine at that age dealing with all of that?
And I feel like, for me personally, especially anyone that stood up against, Nazism to me is the evil personified, right? To stand up against that, knowing what's going to happen to you if you get caught.
Right, knowing the risk.
And especially, like you said, at that age is just...
because nowadays I think about it, I'm just sort of like, I don't know if many people would have the balls. to actually do that.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
don't know.
people just is too self-involved right now.
Yeah.
We've got people now supporting Nazis,
Yeah.
even with all the history behind it, and they're still,
I know.
advocating it.
But obviously her death is a tragedy, but it wasn't in vain, because after she was executed, a copy of the leaflet which she was arrested with, which led to her being executed, was smuggled out of Germany, and the Allies did airdrops all over Germany, dropping like millions of copies of this leaflet, calling
That's
for
so
the end of
nice.
Nazism, which obviously must have like stirred, I'm sure, some people to action and to get
Right.
involved in the resistance.
That's
So,
incredible.
She's like a national hero in Germany. I don't know.
Yeah, they've got several holidays and monuments and different things.
She's like honored in the Bavarian State like Hall of Heroes or something. It's called like the Valhalla Hall. There's a bust of her in there, and they had like a TV poll, I think, a few years ago here as to like the greatest Germans of all time, and she was, I think, number 3 or 4. But if it had only been young people voting, she would have been number 1.
Yeah.
So the youth, which is very encouraging, they know about her.
They
I don't know
still
how
remember.
well known she is outside of Germany. That's why I wanted to talk about
See.
her.
Well,
there's a really great film.
If any of you have heard about her, let us know.
Yeah, like hit us up in the comments, subscribe.
Yeah,
But there's a really great film called Sophie Scholl, The Last Days, which kind of dramatizes her arrest and her interrogation and trial. It's brilliant. It's very obviously harrowing, but I would recommend it.
Well, there's a spoiler. Spoiler alert.
Yeah, the ship hits the iceberg at the end. But thank you, Sophie Scholl, because your bravery
Dankeschön.
is unglaublich, unfucking glaublich. All right. So, what are we talking about today, darling?
Well, where we were born.
The
UK.
Rule Britannia.
No.
That's
That's a hard one for me.
Our homeland, the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Because there's been a lot of tomfoolery coming from that island recently.
Although
there's a lot of great things that have come from it as well. When we talk about music, fashion, that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
It's weird that this little rock like hidden off there produced so much good stuff in that sense.
I know.
It's funny.
I want to I feel like we should play a game called Call Yourself a Brit. Oh, you're drinking red wine today. Also, can I say I'm giving very like Tom Hanks, Castaway, Bear Grylls.
Yeah, you are little werewolf werewolf boys.
This is going to be sorted up next week. I'll be Sean and one.
The girls look great though.
I know, right?
I'm all about them.
Got some serum in.
The baby girls.
Looking good, feeling great. All right, I want to test you on your knowledge of the United Kingdom, madam.
As long as it's within London.
As long as it's M25 centric. Yeah. Okay.
I can do a bit of Surrey.
Oh God, I'd rather not. Gross.
No.
Richmond's lovely. Richmond's not Surrey. Like I'm talking like Woking and Cobham.
No one goes there.
We know
that.
Do you know the year that the United Kingdom came into existence?
Stuff like that.
Why?
Of course not.
You don't.
Of course I don't.
Okay, I'll give you. It was 17.
Give me a choice of. You should give me a choice of 3.
Okay,
like, out of 3.
Okay. You didn't hear the year I just said?
No, I didn't.
Okay. Are you lying?
I'm not lying.
Okay.
Look at his face.
Okay. 18. Okay. So it's multiple choice. Okay. So 18. Okay. A 1800. B 1603.
Okay.
Or C 1707.
So when we all joined together,
when
we all
the
became
Act
friends.
of Union was signed between Great Britain and Scotland, which is when the United
So
States.
you've given me 16, 17 or 18.
1603 or 1707.
I say 1707.
Congratulations, you're correct.
Oh, well, thank you. Well, thank you very much.
That was the year that Scotland was basically I didn't know this.
Is that when Braveheart
that's when
happened?
the Parliament. Yes, that's when Mel Gibson signed
Well,
the Act of Union, and Scotland lost their freedom.
They're
I
on their
didn't
way
kn-
out now.
Well, what I didn't know, apparently, this is the thing, like history is written by the victors. Like apparently, most people in Scotland didn't want to join with Great Britain, but the Scottish
What a surprise!
the
Of course
Scottish
they
nobility
didn't.
and stuff, they were promised land and riches, so they
Yeah,
just
of
shagged
course.
everyone.
They stopped them from wearing their tartans and everything.
Yep.
How rude,
Like
bastards.
the massacre at like there's the British, the English.
They are messed up. They just try and take
Why? Who
everyone's
hurt
fun
you?
away. It's literally like, just stay where you are with your dirty
Colonizers
little
seem pretty-
non-potatoes. Just stay there.
They
With
didn't
none
have
of your
potatoes.
They
Until
didn't even have potatoes.
They
They had
do you know-
nothing.
they had, what was it? They used
apart
to
from syphilis.
pottage and
back again.
syphilis. That's what. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Another question about the UK. Can
Tell
you
me.
name all 4 constituent nations in the United Kingdom and their capital cities?
Wait, what? So
So
like
there's-
Scotland, Wales, Britain,
No,
United Kingdom,
Not
no,
Britain.
England.
Just because
sorry.
you say it quietly
Okay.
doesn't make it right.
I can't
Okay.
believe I just said that out loud. So
Do you
England.
speak Mexican?
Why did you have to do
Do
that?
you speak Mexican?
I'm never gonna
Okay,
live that
come
down.
on,
I was
come on.
right.
It's fine.
Okay, England, Wales, Scotland, and Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland. Are you
and
prepared to negotiate?
Are you prepared to negotiate?
in
I
name of
am
Father,
given
no.
trouble. What are their capital cities?
Oh,
Each of them.
so Belfast,
Belfast,
Edinburgh,
Edinburgh.
Cardiff.
Was that Spanish?
Cardiff.
Cardiff?
Cardiff. No, they are very sing-song.
I
You wouldn't believe I was
40,
40,
would
would
you?
Okay, that comes from, sorry,
Yeah, yeah.
again, that comes from, I remember being in a bar with, do you remember Amanda?
How could I forget?
Okay,
Amanda.
so we were in a bar and this guy came up to us and he was just trying to chat us up and he's like, I'm from Wales. And he was like, look at my long glossy locks. You wouldn't believe I was 40, would you? And I was just sort of like, what is
Yeah, I
that?
would.
He
You wouldn't
did
believe
look
I was
ravaged.
40, would you? It was like a deodorant can.
That's another story.
And I know, Ellen May Davies. And what is the capital city of England? Do you know?
No, London.
I'll check. Hold on. Correct.
Thank you.
All right. Well, so you know a little bit.
Look at me.
You've
Look at
got a
this.
little bit of knowledge. Mind
Look
you,
at
your
this.
last bit of wisdom's being pulled out tomorrow or Friday.
Shut
So
up.
you're not.
The
I'm glad
wisdom
I-
is held elsewhere.
Where? In your buttocks.
Partially gift.
So yeah, basically the UK came into being in 1707. It then proceeded to UK, the whole world. And we know how that goes. Blah blah blah. I'm sure Irish people are not very big fans of the
No,
UK because
no
of
one
the-
likes it. No
No.
one likes the British.
No.
No one.
Well, this is bringing us on to our next point. Like, how do you think people from, I never know whether to say like people from the UK or British people or English people, because the thing is I think we forget,
distinction.
right? There are 4 separate countries with separate identities. Wales and Scotland both have their own language and history.
Right.
Like, how do you think as a whole, as the UK, like we see ourselves? What do you think British people like think of?
It depends on where you come from. So the
Yeah.
Scots can't stand, because there's obviously a divide. The Scots can't stand. Everyone hates the English because
I feel
their
like,
history, they're just assholes.
Yeah.
Usually they do terrible things. They behave badly. Even with foreign countries, they can't stand us. They just we're animals. Well, there's this image of when we're abroad. There's either the really posh and
No,
very polite.
wait. No. That's how do we view ourselves?
How do we view each other? Okay, personally, it's funny. I love the Irish. I love the Scottish. I like the people in the north as well.
Northern Ireland is
Northern
part of it,
Ireland.
like-
Well, I think, the thing is, I see them as much more fun, much more relaxed, much more friendly. I think there's an element of truth in that,
who? What, the North-
where it's like, people are much more relaxed, friendly, open.
well, where in the UK? In general?
in the north of England,
Yeah.
and in Scotland and in Wales and things like that.
Yeah, I would.
Whereas
agree.
in England, I think
Uptight wankers.
much more uptight, much more
Don't make a scene.
because also there's a history of them feeling like they're superior to everyone else.
Yeah.
Even when they're just literally just at the bottom of the tree, you
Yeah.
know, they're just looking down on everyone else from anywhere else, no matter who they are or what they've accomplished. So there is that element. I do see that there because it's obviously speaking to a lot of people in the UK all day. It's weird. People are just so rude, so racist. Like, well, there's a nice side because people can be super funny, really witty, very sharp,
definitely.
quick-witted, very amusing. But there is this element of like, oh, I had to talk to someone in a call center in South Africa.
Goodness me.
And it was just sort of like, okay. And it's like, yeah, I could barely understand him. And it was just
Well,
sort
you
of
get your
like,
fucking
he's like,
hearing aids fixed. Then.
well, he was just sort of like, oh, yeah, I can understand you perfectly, and you're not a Zulu. I was just thinking, motherfucker, if you, it was like,
Turn on
wow.
camera, like, I think it depends on where you are in the country, how we view ourselves. I think that we have a very I think again we have to specify the English. I think the English have a very distorted view of themselves, and I think that's why we are currently.
They think everyone loves them.
In the mess, right? I think we have never dealt with. I say we because unfortunately I'm one too. I don't think we have ever dealt
not like this.
We've ever dealt with the loss of empire and our true like ranking in importance now in the world.
Well, they expose
like,
themselves.
We still think we've
Brexit.
got a 10-inch dick, and no, it's like
no, they've got
like
thumbnail.
4 o'clock rave. Like Billy Willy.
Billy Willy.
Billy Willy. Do you know what I mean? And I think
micro penises. Oh,
we're not. No, come on, we're not here.
No,
to, like,
I'm not here for that.
To side shame anybody. You are.
I don't care. I don't like them.
It
is what it is. No one does. And if you say you do, you're a goddamn liar.
I know. I think we have a very distorted view of ourselves. I think we need to have a very honest.
Unless you're from London.
Unless you're from London. This is the thing, right? The rest of the country hates us, hates everyone from or a
for
lot
a
of
reason.
Hates us for a goddamn reason. Because when people say, "Oh, I want to visit the UK," they don't say, "I want to visit Birmingham." They want to visit London. People might say, "I want to visit Manchester because
I really want to go to Birmingham because it sounds really exciting."
Birmingham. Like nobody. I'm sorry. Whatever. Send hate. I don't care. Basically. London, and the thing is, it's not fair. The disparity between the regions, and London is this huge sponge sucking all the money, all the life out of the rest of the country.
But you know why? Because it's much more multicultural. That's why it thrived.
Well, yes and no. Like Manchester is just as multicultural. Like the big cities. I think Manchester and London are kind of on a par of diversity. I mean,
with diversity.
I think Liverpool too is very like the big cities.
Liverpool, I love the Liverpudlian accent. It's really fun.
It's the best accent there is.
It really is. It's great.
That's one of the things I have to say that I love about the UK is
the different accents,
the crazy variation of accents in this tiny little country. Right, you go 20 miles down the road and people sound completely different.
Can you do a Scottish accent?
I can do it sometimes. It sort of drops.
It's a little difficult.
It's a bit difficult.
I can't do it all the time, but it's not bad.
You have to drop in like little Scottichisms, like a canny, to keep yourself in it. Do you know what I mean? A wee bit of Scottish. I love the Scottish.
Okay, accent. What about Newcastle?
Well, Pet, that was one I found a bit difficult for years, but I've actually managed to master it right now.
Because of Cheryl Cole.
Cheryl Cole. No, because of Kerry. Shout out to our friend Kerry. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
And then, but my hands down favorite is the Scouse accent. I love it. It's
That's Liverpudlian.
It's mince. Scouse Liverpool. I fucking love it.
Yeah, it's good.
But so yeah, so I think that we need to have a very honest national conversation, warts and all, right? That's all anybody wants. Is like, we can't change the
Really?
past. Yes, we can't change the past, but I want a reckoning. I want people to understand the true history of the UK, because then if that was the case,
What do you mean by the true history, though?
the true history of the empire, of colonialism, the true history of our role in the world, and the abuse,
theft,
and the reason why
raping
we are
and pillaging
so rich,
and spreading of disease.
Right? We need to have that conversation, because otherwise nothing will change, and we see where this leads us. Brexit.
I don't think people will be ashamed of that, though. They'll be like, yeah, well,
listen, right? I'm talking about the future. This Daily Mail reading people, they're dead to me. I'm not interested in just hurry up and die. How do you think?
Although some of the older generation, like I have quite a few chats with the older generation in the UK, and some of the funniest people. I've got time just to sit and chat all day with them. I usually do.
If you're not reading the Daily Mail, we can talk. If you're reading the Daily Mail and you stand by that, suck my dick. Moving on. How do you think we are? Suck my rave dick after. How do you think other people in the world view us?
It's interesting because here in Spain, there's either the image of like very posh, polite, or from London, very cool.
Spanish people love a wax jacket as well. They love a hunting tweed barber
yeah, but you know what?
jacket.
They've got their own inferiority complex going on there. So like, especially the picos, it's like, yes, I'm very posh. And it's like, I'm blonde. It's like, no, you're not. You're mousy at best.
You out of a butter,
Let it go.
That's
Let it go. But it's a case, and then there's the ones that go to Benidorm, the balcony jumpers, like, I don't want that foreign muck.
Lobsters, red lobsters.
So they have this extreme. So usually I think people in other parts of Spain, they're just and if it's British, they tend to not view them like that. But when you get on the coast or in the south, it's not the best opinion.
Rightly so, because
to be honest, it's
not
horrendous. I can't believe like some of the things that these countries have put up with, and I don't know why they just haven't. Well, it's because of the money,
cash.
Yeah, it's the money, but it's just like destroying places, like beautiful beachside places, and then they just come en masse. It's awful because I'm an idiot. I live here, and I'm just like, I don't see any other British people.
I know.
When I go on holiday, I just sort of like, I'm going to avoid that area and go, somewhere else.
This is what I said when we were talking about holidays before. I was like, I don't know, Benidorm, all those places, stay away.
It's a no from me.
I think it's interesting what you said about extremes, because I think people either have this one extreme, like Americans, I feel they all think we're either like, hello Mary, Poppins, cool blood.
What is that Dickensian accent?
They think we're giving like Downton Abbey teas, like Lady Mary.
Lovely.
Like, right? And it's like I found it really interesting how many Americans were genuinely like shocked by the whole Meghan Markle royal family revelations thing. Like they really think we live in this like genteel tea drinking like
but they know that we're racist bastards too.
Well,
not
I don't think that they.
Well, the UK has done a really good job of hiding their dirty past. That's the thing. America was exposed, and we all knew exactly what they'd been up to. But with the UK, it was sort of like, oh no, couldn't possibly. No, everyone was having a lovely time. We're all friends, all good old chums.
I think, I think as well in Germany, I think.
Yeah, what do they think of British people in Germany?
German people have a real love and respect for British culture. And they did have a real respect.
When you say British culture, what are we referring to?
Like comedy and our ability to laugh.
We do have some good comedy.
And our kind of like, they also had respect for our democracy and our parliamentary system. Now I just see German mouths agape in horror at how everything has fallen apart.
We're all looking to Germany.
Right. And but I think I think again here in some ways with German people there's a sense of like there's an inferiority complex that like, because of the history, like
because it's been indoctrinated. It's been indoctrinated that this is superior, this is better, we know best. And it's just in the way that university, most people, the go-to language is English. So that in itself gives you like an extra footing, and also makes you idle and arrogant.
Speak for yourself.
Well,
She
I
speaks
am
5
speaking
languages.
for myself. But
Um,
yeah, it's a case of that definitely is an element there. But you know, one thing I do like about the Brits, the humor, well, you mentioned it, do have a good sense of humor.
Yeah.
Some of the things that they come up with,
I think
it's just the
best in the
chat and
world.
everything. It's brilliant because
Like,
here's
obviously-
Spanish humor is like slapstick. Like, whoop, I slipped on a
Yeah.
banana.
Yeah.
You're like, get out.
It's tired. I'm not.
Get
I'm not over
out.
it. I think this is like humor-wise is the one time I get like proud and nationalistic because I really do
It can
think
be
like,
really
obviously
funny.
I'm biased, but like
Yeah.
and because I see how other people love British comedy.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what it is about British humor. Like, I think the fact that we laugh at ourselves very easily.
Very
I think
self-deprecating.
It was very self-deprecating. I think we have a very like ironic way of looking at the world where it's like, what? And I think
also because we're quite feral.
yes,
That's the thing.
yes,
We
yeah,
are
yeah, yeah,
as a
definitely.
people, we're goddamn feral.
Yeah, I love seeing, you know, I see
and
things
in
like
in a good way, in
I
a
see
bad
things
way
like
too.
I
but,
see things like Florida man. You know when they always talk about like Florida man, but there should be like English person. That's the other. Like I saw this meme today of this guy sitting in the rain with an umbrella and he's having a pint and this car has crashed into the pub table and it's half collapsed, but he's just like.
Wait, let it
and
go.
then there was this other thing of
when they're all sat in the pub outside, it's pissing down with rain, and they're just like.
But there was this other thing I saw today of this, like it's a video of like they're parked at some, like it looks like the White Cliffs of Dover, and the mum and the dad obviously standing outside the car having the fag, and you see the daughter inside the car beat the horn, and the dad just turns around and goes, "Stop fucking doing that!"
Oh my god.
it's the most British reaction ever. It's so dumb and it's so stupid, but it just
no, but then there's that reaction, and it's just there was that, what was it? And it's like the most British crash ever, and he's like, "Ooh," and the car literally flipped, and it's just like, "Oh, that was a bit scary." I think I'm a little bit miffed. Oh, no, I'm ticked off.
I'm cross.
When I'm really cross now.
I guess we can't really talk about our homeland without talking about the B word. Oh, the rage, Brexit.
Yeah.
I need to take several.
We gotta tell that story at some point.
I need to go to my Zen happy place to talk
Woosah,
about this.
Breathe in, breathe out, let it go. It's okay.
Okay, so Brexit happened. We did.
You're Austrian now.
I'm Austrian.
It's like, bye, bitch.
Once on a hill. This has happened. We weren't able to stop it. It is the manifestation of Englishness in the 21st century. It is
miserable old goats just fucking things up for everyone.
Yeah. And this is the thing I was reading the other day, basically. Everybody was like, oh, it's working class people, uneducated, ignorant working class people. Actually, when you look at the numbers, it was far more well-off, educated, old white people voting for this shit, basically.
Please, there's a few from every sector, but
like
maybe.
the anger I feel on this is beyond. It is beyond. I'm so angry at the opportunities that have been stolen
and snatched away from everyone. It's just so dumb, though. It's just
stupid.
And did you see that idiot firing at with his musket
in Jersey? Firing. I mean, if this is not a fucking metaphor for the UK, firing blanks from his musket at ships 20 miles off the coast, wearing a fucking tricorn hat like he's bloody like the town crier.
Oh my god!
I just was. I mean, he had a high vis vest on.
I know. What
stylish.
Fuck. But it's madness. The fact that people who live in Spain voted for it. The funniest thing was,
and then they're complaining about being deported.
The interviews, they're like, "What? We have to go?" I was literally laughing. I was like, the best thing ever. That was perfect. But it's just so sad. I just think of my nieces and nephews and just think, God, what they're going to miss out on, how much harder it's going to be.
They don't get to do what we did. We just went. We just packed a suitcase and left and made a new life for ourselves. And
but
they
also,
don't get to do that now.
With things like Erasmus. Erasmus. It's Erasmus now.
It's your
Erasmus. With things like that, they said they were going to do some other version.
Bullshit. It's called the Turing scheme. Basically, it's own. You get no financial support. It's basically they said that Erasmus was elitist, and that's why they didn't bother to keep it on. But now, unless you have funds of your own, because with Erasmus you got a grant from the EU. With this new Alan Turing scheme, keep his fucking name out your mouth.
Seriously, don't get him involved in this shit. He would have been against it.
Like now,
how dare you?
You basically have to support yourself. So they want to say that Erasmus was elite, but now only truly elite rich kids will be able to fund a year abroad in Europe. Fuck off.
Yeah, it's really sad. We're in a fortunate position.
Yeah.
Even for me, it's awkward because I've got freedom to work here. But if I decided I'm not going to. But I like to have the choice.
Yeah, of course. You want the choice.
I like to have the choice to be able to go somewhere else.
That was your birthright. We are the only nation in history. Wait. We are the only nation in history to voluntarily vote to take rights away from ourselves. To give ourselves less rights.
They should have given us, as a country, they should have given us a choice to opt in or out. And all those cunts who wanted to opt out, just leave them from.
They could never have done that because it would have opened the door to but whatever. Like we just should never have fucking
done everything. I know it's so dumb. The amount of money they've lost. They were saying with different industries, and it was literally 90%, 70%, 50%. It's not. We're not talking small change here. We're talking obscene amounts. But you got control. Control.
Fuck off.
Control.
The Scottish like fishing industry. All of these things are
fish.
They're dead. Like we're not allowed to fish in Norwegian waters now for the first time in hundreds of years because they failed to sign an agreement. And the whole thing they won it on was about get back control of our waters for the fishermen. Now the fishermen are all fucking.
And it's such a small part of everything as well. And it was just sort of that's ridiculous.
Bullshit. And do you know
what? Let them suffer.
Do you know?
I say let them suffer and see what they've done.
Yeah, this is the thing is that
hopefully they'll have to do a U-turn and go back begging with their tail between their legs and then ask to be let back in when the younger people get into power and can move things around. I
have sympathy for people who can repent of their Brexit sins, who see the truth now and are like, okay, I fucked up. If you're still holding on to that like flag, shagging it,
what is that with all the flags that they've started putting in their interviews?
It's jingoism, it's nationalism, it's distraction techniques, it's fucking.
But I can't believe people are being fooled by it because we look at America and we laugh and we're like, that's dumb.
No, we laugh, we laugh. You and I laugh, not the fucking 52% of people that voted for this shit. They don't laugh. Yeah. They derive some kind of comfort from rapping.
This is what I don't understand. When they're like the good old days, most of these motherfuckers were poor and no one was enjoying it apart from the elite, the aristocracy. At least they weren't
foreign. At least
and it was just foreign. Like they were treated like crap and they were literally working like dogs with no teeth and barefoot, running around.
That's half the problem. That's
starving kids, shoving them up chimneys.
That's half the problem is that we still have this class system, pervasive class system in the UK, whereby we still are like, yes, sir, thank you, sir. People doff their caps to their superiors. Yes, my lord.
So dumb. It's like the whole thing with the royal
if you speak
family.
like this, if you have a plummy accent, people think
it does make a difference.
Of course, it makes a difference, but it shouldn't, but it does.
Yeah.
I can't talk about this anymore. It's making me too angry. My heart rate's going up. I haven't taken my blood pressure medication.
All right. Tell me things that you love about the UK.
Your mum.
Yeah, Princess is amazing.
The main thing, I'm not going to lie, the main thing that I love about the United Kingdom is Marks and Spencer.
But still, my heart.
Marks and I will fight.
It's a safe place, safe space.
Anybody. Listen, I'm going to cop a lot of shit now from my Australian friends, but Woolworths, you need to sit down.
Woolworths is
filth. No. Woolworths in Australia is like the M&S of Australia. And listen, Woolworths is, I got a lot of time for Woolworths. It's a happy place.
I just can't see it. I can only see UK Woolworths. I know. I'm freaking out right now. I'm just like, what are you talking about?
Woolworths in Byron Bay. But listen.
You don't have to wear shoes. I don't know. I haven't got time for that. That's inappropriate.
Hush.
Have some respect.
If M&S and Woolworths had a fight, Woolworths is going down like a sack of shit in the second round. It's a fucking
literally just won it.
M&S it's a holy place to me. It is
It's a
church.
safe place. You go in and you're always going to find something you want, whatever it
Always.
is.
More than one thing.
It's just happiness. It's a safe place. I love it.
Can't actually
I
express
love
how much.
it.
Like, listen, my first thing whenever I land back at home, before I even go to the toilet, is
My mouth's getting.
I'm running to get either my chicken and bacon sandwich or my egg and bacon sandwich.
Oh my God, rounds.
Packet of roast beef and onion
biscuits.
crisps and the
Oh my
traditional
God.
lemonade and a packet of chocolate rounds.
Say it again. Say it again. Oh God.
It's over. Chocolate rounds. Ooh.
And there's oh my God, that Victoria sponge.
Oh
I
God,
love
it's
it.
so
And
good.
then their little mini chocolate rolls.
Everything is so.
Oh my God, and their chicken pie.
And
their
everything like
my steak
and
pie.
when you were a kid, I need to talk about food. I need to get some hay fever tablets.
Oh sweet Jesus, what happened to you? Okay, I'm just going to tell you about great things that they have in Marks and Spencer's. Some of the best times I've ever had. They're yum yums. That is a sexual
yum yums.
pastry.
I had yum yums. I'm back.
Sexual pastry.
Oh,
that is
delicious.
beautiful. They do this beautiful flapjack with chocolate, and it's almost with chocolate chip pieces in it, but the chocolate chip pieces aren't round. I don't know why it makes such a difference. They're flat. But it makes a difference to the it makes a difference to the
also the
palate.
great also
really
about
does.
M&S. It's like every single person, it's like your school shirts, your pants when you're a kid, I'm
Oh
sure
my God,
bras.
M&S underwear is like
It lasts
the
a life,
best.
well, not a lifetime.
No,
but
it doesn't. But it's great and well priced, and then you can get some really fun little items.
Haruna had
clothes.
like some fun, like Sandy has had a lot of fun stuff from M&S.
Yep.
Like
Emma's got this coat that I literally really want. It looks like a Burberry Mac. It's like that sexy dark green with the blue navy tartan inside. Literally eyes on it. Amazing bargain prices.
So M&S is something that I love. Another thing that I love, which we've said, is British sense of humor.
Oh, yeah.
I love the shopping in the UK.
I love the fashion in the UK. I love the style in the UK, because here it's very monotonous.
Everyone's always going on about like Italian style this, French style this. Find me a better dressed person than someone from London. Dress smart like a London before he speak his soup be smoke. Like there we have it on lock. The style in the UK,
it's unique. Okay, because you know what, here in Spain it's very classic. And then again, in other countries, it's very classic. They all look, but it's very, there's like 5 styles here, like 5 styles of people.
Chicken McNugget mold.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Whereas in London, you can literally walk down the street and you just see so many different wonderful things. It like reminds me of my friend now. Every single day, it was a joy just to see what she was going to wear, because it's just brilliant.
And it's fun and it's irreverent and we're not afraid to take risks. I'm going to say something that's going to make me sound like a 40-year-old mother from Hertfordshire. The style is fresh.
It's fresh.
Kids, fresh.
Zesty.
But it is. I love going home and I love walking down. Like, it's like walking down Portobello and you just see, you're like, yeah, see you. You look good. Wow, come through. I love it.
Yeah, and it's just the attitude as well. And it's just funny. For me, it's the people. It really is the people. I loved it up north. You know what? When I went to visit you in Manchester, that was so much fun. Like someone like Juan. Yeah. Like that kind of character.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So like
it literally warms my heart.
Quan Chi Fung is the mouth of Harrogate.
Oh my God.
He's the mouth of the north. He is he has a unique view of the world.
But he is sharp and funny.
Sharp as a
but I feel like it's like he's an exception, but I feel generally across the board, just the attitudes to life and just the humorous way they looked at things or did things. It was like, let's do it. No, I loved that. I knew I couldn't stay there because I was just like, there were no rules here. This is wild and dangerous, and I had to leave. But I enjoyed every moment I was there. It was fun. I stayed a little longer.
What are some things that you don't like about the UK?
Dry, mealy people.
Who people?
Dry and mealy people.
Dry and mealy people. I don't like people that fly the St. George's Cross out of their van in a traffic jam.
I don't think they like themselves. To be honest, no one likes them.
That's why they're doing it. I don't like, what don't I like about the UK? There are so many things.
Well, no, it's just, for me, it's just the
I don't like the arrogance. I hate the arrogance and the ignorance and the the sense of entitlement. I hate the fact that
Entitled, that's it.
British people refuse to learn other languages. Now you can say, fine, I know everybody speaks English, but make a fucking effort. I hate it. And I hate the expectation that everybody has to accommodate themselves to us. Right? Like, no, I don't want that food. No, I don't want this. It's like wherever we go, we think that we're like in charge. And
that's madness, because everyone's food is better than English food. Come on. Apart from when you're in London, you can eat every food from around the world. That's what's amazing.
I do English food. It's not going to win any prizes, but
but when it's done well, like remember roast? They specialized in English food, and it was like literally. When they did the fish, when they did the meats, everything, and like when we were in Cornwall with the scallops and the oysters, everything, that produce was
banging.
Beautiful.
Listen, we have amazing seafood. We have really good.
Everyone was really surprised about that when I came home and told them about it. They were just like, yeah, sure. And I was like, your dirty little scallops here, because they have the big ones, the areas, but then they've got the pissy little ones.
The queen.
And I was like, why are you taking the roe off as well? That's
the
weird.
Foot. That's what I call it. No, but I think what we'd have really. A lot of good of
use your words, John.
What's good in the UK is like, you know, not necessarily fresh produce because we don't have sun, but we have like great like meat. We got great seafood. I suppose we've got good root vegetables. Apples are very good.
Yeah, because remember when we were looking for parsnips here and they were like, we feed them to pigs. And it was like, wait, what?
You want to glaze that shit up with some honey and roast it in a tin.
I was like, you lost your mind.
But yeah, I love that. I feel like we should focus more on the positive. I love that. I suppose the obvious thing that we both miss is I love the diversity. The UK.
That was the amazing thing. Growing up in London, especially the diversity and just the different cultures and access to the different all the different things from it, whether it's food, the music, just anything. It was just having that, and it just took it for granted. Took it all for granted. Whereas here, it's just sort of like it's one monotonous globule of same.
That's very well put. I feel the same.
Although, look, when you go to the south, it's a different story. In the south of Spain, they're a little bit more peppy, and in the north, I guess they're a little bit more different. But
it's still Spanish.
For Madrid as the capital, the diversity here is not huge. It's that I'm seeing more of it.
It's diverse.
I'm seeing more of it.
I guess though in Spain because their history is different, and so there's a lot of like Latin American people. In Madrid from different, Latin American countries. Whereas they don't have as many like Black people, I guess. Although, like you say, it's changing. But
there is a large Chinese community. Because they had that whole thing. It's usually, but it's still very sectioned off. Even like in the capital and in the centre, you know how usually in London it's mixed. There's a mix. You see everything all the time, and it's like there is some, but not enough to be like, okay. You notice when you see something that you would normally take for granted at home.
I miss the diversity. I honestly only miss
in Berlin.
Miss my friends and family. Berlin is definitely getting a lot more diverse.
I thought it would be. I thought it was quite diverse.
I mean, maybe it's no. I mean, to my eyes, it's getting a lot more diverse. I see a lot more mixed race children now than I did 7 years ago when I got here.
Everybody likes to swirl.
And I definitely see a lot more. It's like African culture is a lot more visible to me, like now. There's a lot more, obviously not recently, but there are a lot more like parties where they're playing like Afrobeat. There's like exhibitions.
That's huge.
There's food pop-ups. It's definitely getting diverse, but it ain't London.
But that's the thing. Every city has its own uniqueness. So there are things about Madrid that are not the same in London. Like what I love about Madrid is the fact that it's sunny and it's one of the gayest cities I've been in. And it's just, there's something about it where you just feel free and safe, unlike you would in anywhere else. So there's that plus point. Whereas
obviously otherwise we wouldn't live. Otherwise I'd be living in the UK. But what I think one of the kind of unique things, other countries have it too, but it's very pronounced in the UK. It's like the north-south divide.
Oh gosh.
Obviously, historically, the South, and not just historically, like currently, the South is a lot richer, a lot more affluent. There are far more like job opportunities, like
This happens in a lot of countries. Like if you look at Italy,
Italy is the
previously,
same,
before
yeah.
it was very affluent, the south, and then the north, and then it moved to the north. Whereas in Spain, it's just a case of, yeah, all the companies, the major corporations and everything, they set them up in northern countries, and so that's where most of the money is. And then in the poor, in the south, it's much poorer, but the people are happier and
I
hotter.
mean, there is definitely the North-South divide in the UK definitely exists. It's undeniable. They keep on talking about like leveling up and Northern powerhouse and how they're going to invest loads of money in the North and blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, the real reason why there is a persisting North-South divide is that the North was the industrial heartland of the country. And after Thatcher deindustrialized or decimated industry, nothing was put there to replace it. And communities lost their hearts and their souls, and all they did was put call centers there. So I feel like sometimes I only experienced it a few times in Manchester, but there is sometimes real resentment when people hear you.
Oh God, yeah, they just judge and they'll be like, oh, you think you're better. It's just the automatic assumption. It's like, mate, look, if you're feeling that,
if the
for a
shoe
reason.
fits. I mean, the thing that always gets me is this is like they have managed. Some people in the North have managed to turn a logistical fact of buses into
you don't say goodbye to the say goodbye to the bus driver.
People in the North have said to me so many times, "You're so rude in London." Well, they don't say it like that. They say, "So rude in London. You don't thank the bus driver when you get off the bus." And I say, "That's because in London, bitch, we have two doors. You get on one set of doors and you get off at the other. I'm not about to shout down the bus, 'Cheers, mate.' If I had to walk past the bus driver, of course I would say thank you. I was brought up, not dragged up. But everybody, that's the main thing that I get thrown at me.
I'm like, is that your argument? That's it? Didn't say goodbye to the bus driver. Doesn't give a shit. He's like, get away from me, especially now.
Yeah.
So when anyone
like the bus driver's putting up a plexiglass sheet to fucking. Yeah, do you know what I mean?
No, thank you. But
I mean, look, I feel like if I were ever to move home, I would probably, due to financial reasons, probably because I can't afford anywhere in London, I would move to Sheffield.
Would you?
Yeah. I've thought about this. I mean, I'm not planning to move home. Don't get excited, people.
Lizzie and Bjorn, literally,
but I really, really like because for me now, London is too busy. There's too many people. It's too overcrowded.
Get bored of London. You're bored of life, darling.
Yeah, true. I'm not bored of it, but bored with it rather. But I just
other things.
And it's weird because I was always like, I will never leave London. Imagine living up north. As soon as I finished uni, I fled Manchester. But now I can see the benefits of not because it's up north, but just because like people are more relaxed, I feel, and chilled out, and it's cheaper.
Yeah, that's a huge thing.
Huge thing. Like you can
more bang for your buck.
And you're 2 hours.
But hold on, if money was not an object,
then of course I'd move to London.
And
you mad?
And then I
would have a giant villa on Elgin Crescent.
Oh my god, yeah.
And I would be noising up.
I might get one of those houses on Brook Green, actually.
Oh yeah, go on.
Yeah, I love that.
Just do in Israel. Listen, I feel sometimes like I should go back to my grandparents' house and throw out the current tenants because my grandparents have to live there, which is what Israel is doing in Sheikh Jarrah.
Can you imagine? Just be like, it's mine.
It's mine. Like, do you know what I mean?
It's not even the same.
Yeah, no, I'm not planning to move home, so.
No, no, but I wouldn't mind a little pied a terre.
Of course.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think is the future of the UK? Do you think?
Do you know what? Right now, I'm sort of like it could go either way. It will be really telling to see what happens in the next 2 years. Yeah. I'm hoping, especially because I have hope when I look at when I hear things from the younger generations. God, I'm old. It gives me hope and it makes me think. And speaking to friends and family, there are people out there who have more than 2 brain cells, and and they're producing children and doing things. So it does give me hope that it can come back. I don't know what it's going to come back as, but hopefully maybe this is what it needs. Maybe it needs a complete breakdown to evolve like a phoenix and come back even better.
But I don't want the people that we love to have to go through that.
No, well, no, they won't. That's not on my plan.
Kind of like most of the people that we know are buffered, what's the word, protected, I guess, from what could possibly be the worst fallout of Brexit. I meant more like the future of the UK. Like, is there actually a future for it as a
I feel like Scotland's gonna leave.
I feel like Scotland's gone,
and I'm all for them, and then I say we do Scotland.
Yeah.
Scotland is a thing. Scotland is a thing.
I mean, I think the obvious solution. First of all, I am all if Scotland, if Scottish people want to be independent, go for broke. Good luck to you. I wish you all the best.
Have at it.
The only thing I could see that could potentially persuade Scotland to stay is if we became a federation. And I don't know why people aren't I don't see many.
Wait, hold on. When you say federation,
we would be the federal United Kingdom, whatever we can.
So we're gonna have even more words to say.
No, so a federation like that each. So for example, Germany is
sounds like a sports team.
Well, I don't know.
Go on, tell me.
So
what
Germany
does it mean?
is a federation, right? So there are 16 states here, and there is the central government, right? Each the federal government. So like the US, right? Each state has however many powers the Constitution grants to it, ascribed to it. So like, for example, here...
Like here in Spain, where you have your different provinces.
It's similar, but it's not a federation, Spain.
No.
But like, so for example, here, the individual states have responsibility for like healthcare, for housing, for yeah, but it's not officially a federation. It's a like autonomous region thing. So I could see that working in the UK, like England, Scotland, Ireland, and Wales, Northern Ireland and Wales, right? So Scotland, we already have devolved powers.
They've got their own money and their own parliament, so leave them alone.
Leave them alone, but I'm saying
not leave them alone, but let them do what they want.
If that to me is the only way that I don't really care about saving the union, but that to me is the only way that we are going to stick together, because as soon as Scotland's gone, Northern Ireland is gone. Ireland is reunified. Right. Then Wales is going to be like, hold on, already like
we don't really like you, bastards.
Welsh independence is going, it's going up, like
they've done it, so we should do.
But I could see that working. The only reason I don't think it would work is that Scotland isn't going to agree in a federation to have Trident based there, and I don't know where else they're going to put it, but which is the nuclear.
Okay, Trident is the
Trident is our nuclear deterrent, and all of the submarines are based in Scotland.
And they won't allow it.
Well, that's one of the SNP's biggest thing, is that they want nuclear weapons out of Scotland, rightly so. But I can't see if we got to the point of discussing a federation, I can't see England being like, no one in England's going to be like, we'll take it. It's
their weapons. So
I mean, listen, this is why I'm not a fucking politician. I don't see federation happening because it requires too much thought, and people aren't.
Well, you seem to have got it sussed in about 2 minutes. So
it seems obvious to me, like, there are.
Well, maybe this is something I think probably in 10 years' time that it could be put on the table. But for now, I feel like they just need to drag themselves out of the shit stain.
Scotland's not going to be there
Brexit.
in 10 years' time. Scotland ain't going to be there in 10 years' time. They'll be gone in 5 years at this rate.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens. I am okay because I am now an Österreicher.
Österreicher.
I'm sick of talking about the UK.
All right, we're done.
So
you know what it's time for? Surprise me with your feral fact. Okay, what have you got?
You may know this, but I wanted to keep it like UK specific.
I wanted something surprise.
Did you? Well, maybe you don't know this. Did you know that a third of Brits only wash their bed sheets once a year?
I did know that.
30% of people ever. And then it was something like 50% said they only do it like once a month. Like,
what is wrong with these people?
Why?
I'm imagining like hard, crispy sheets that they're getting scratched on.
Right?
That's disgusting.
The bed sheets are ready to get up and walk out of the room in protest.
Literally, I'm done with you. I can't live like this.
You're gonna wash your sheets once a fucking year.
Can you imagine what their pillow looks
like? Imagine the mites. Imagine the living creatures.
Oh my god. Oh my God.
Disgusting.
Oh my God, that's
So
disgusting.
disgusting. Wash your fucking sheets, you dirty cunt.
And your feet.
Yeah, wash your feet before you put them in the sheets. I'm a poet and I don't know it. Or do you? Okay, so another feral fact, we're keeping it very dirty, bowel movement-esque.
You always go down to the...
I know, I'm secretly into scat.
I know you are. Scatman John.
Scatman John. In the olden days, most people, there was no plumbing, there was nada, right? So you just had to go to like a public shit house, and you basically
like the outdoor
one where you just shat into a cesspit, right? Now the people who cleaned out these cesspits, that was someone's job to clean that out. Apparently, though, it was very well paid.
Look, this still happens. Glastonbury.
Apparently, right, but the people that cleaned out the cesspits were called muckrakers. Now, one unfortunate
raking it up.
Maybe that's where that phrase comes from, raking in, because there was a lot of money. They were well paid. Anyway, one of these muckrakers was called originally Richard the Raker. He one day was cleaning the cess house, and he fell through the rotten planks into the cesspit and he drowned.
Again, reminds me of Glastonbury.
And I said to myself, that's a really shitty way to go.
Do you know what? I'm not mad at it. That was actually pretty good. Excellent.
And listen, right, this is so gross. Like I can't even imagine the smell of medieval London with like offal and fucking shit all over the place. Right? There's a place there's a small alley in the city of London called Sherborne Lane. But at the time of medieval,
does that sound familiar?
Because we've probably staggered down it at some ungodly hour. But the smell from this lane was so bad in medieval times that it was called Shiteburn Lane. But now they've renamed it Sherborne Lane because now
it was literally called Shiteburn.
It was called Shiteburn Lane because the smell and the stench coming off. I don't know what was there, but it was so rancid.
Throwing it out onto the streets, flinging shits everywhere.
Just disgusting.
Nice.
And
lovely.
On that note,
I thoroughly enjoyed that. That was delightful.
Do you feel educated about cesspits now?
I do.
Are you ready
it's
to
always
go for a
useful
swim?
things that you need to know. Always.
That was fun.
It's been great.
I
thoroughly
enjoyed slating
that.
our homeland.
Oh, I miss Marks and Spencer.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
You know what I love I love Marks and Spencer's when it's summer and you go in and it's so cold in the food section. You know, in Westfield when you go down the escalator, it's like ice.
I don't like Westfield.
I don't like you.
Yeah, that's a lie. Maury Povich came back and said that was a lie.
Listen, if you want that Austrian passport, you better stop being nice to me.
Brisket?
All right, well, it's been a pleasure as always.
Same to you.
And remember,
stay feral.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.